What you guys are about to learn are the 3 rules of game that, quite frankly, most guys don't even know exist. And the thing that guys are always wanting to know is how they can increase their value, or what they can do to get the biggest improvements with the least amount of time and the least amount of effort possible. And the answer is always to improve your game. Starting with number 1, which is attention. Now, ever since the rise of the internet, attention has become like the new currency. And the thing that most guys don't realize is simply the value of their own attention. And these days, social media makes it easier than ever for girls to obtain attention and for them to obtain validation from thousands upon thousands of men who willingly give it out without ever giving it a second thought. You see, your attention that you have as a man can be one of 2 things. On the one hand, your attention can be water. On the other hand, it can be like gold. And the thing about gold is that gold is scarce, and 75% of the planet is covered by water, not gold. You see, guys just don't realize how valuable their attention really is. And if you think about what makes girls so appealing to most guys, it's not actually what most guys would think. What makes girls so appealing to most guys is actually their attention, or the lack of attention that they're willing to give out. You see, as men, we constantly seek validation from women because it feels really good, but more importantly, because it's literally hardwired into our DNA or into our mating strategy to seek this validation and to seek this attention. And so when we finally do get some attention from a girl, or we do get some validation, it feels really good. But unlike pretty much every guy on the planet, girls don't freely give out their attention like most guys do. And this is a large part of what actually makes them so appealing. Because if girls just gave out their attention in the same way that most guys do, it wouldn't really feel like much of an accomplishment for us as guys to be able to get that attention. So you have to ask yourself this: what is the most powerful way to flip the script? Or in other words, how can you as a guy put value on your attention in a way that is going to make you insanely more attractive and more appealing? And the easiest way to do this is simply to restrict it. You see, most guys out there give out their attention so freely and so willingly that it pretty much becomes worthless. And this is one of the number 1 things that guys with no game do. And what they'll do is they'll willingly give out all of their attention on social media or in real life, or pretty much anywhere that there is a girl who is looking for it. If you guys have been watching my videos for any length of time, you should already know that girls want guys who have options, and they instinctively know that a guy who has options does not freely give away his attention, because this type of man knows that his attention is extremely valuable. You see, if I have a girlfriend and she starts playing games with me and she starts wasting my time, what do you think I would do? The answer is I would take away my attention from her. What you guys have to understand is that for females, attention is basically like some kind of drug, and girls are naturally hardwired to both love and seek attention far more often than males. So when you restrict your attention, or when you put value on your attention by withdrawing it whenever needed, what you're doing is you're doing something that most men can't or don't even know how to do. Example, guys who girls label as players, they all do it. They all understand the value of their attention, and they understand how to make it scarce. You see, the more you guys are chasing your purpose, the easier it's going to be to naturally put value on your attention. But you don't have to be super busy, and you don't have to live this super crazy cool lifestyle to put value on your attention. So many men out there who have no options, or men who have what you might say low mate value, what all these men have in common is they don't understand the true value of their attention, and they don't understand how to make that attention scarce. And so what so many guys don't understand is that girls actually restrict their attention all the time. And when they do this, what do you think most guys do? Most guys out there are going to start texting girls back, and they're going to start chasing and pursuing the girls even harder than they were before the attention was restricted. And so if you can avoid doing this, if you can know the value of your own attention and know when to restrict it, it's going to dramatically improve your game and your attractiveness as a man. Number 2, novelty. Now, novelty is another aspect of game, and it's kind of just a fancy way of saying to stand out. But if you think about all the hot girls out there, nobody can deny that good-looking girls are definitely treated differently in this world that we live in. And this is especially true when it comes to guys, because some guys will literally do anything just for a little bit of attention from a hot girl. And it's not uncommon at all for good-looking girls to try to get away with things just to see if they can, because most of the time they can't. You see, most guys actually play right into this behavior. One of the most important things to understand is that you should never ever treat attractive women differently. You see, most guys are so predictable, and they make it so painfully obvious that they have no options by the way that they treat attractive girls differently. All the guys out there who truly understand game, understand novelty, and they know how to stand out, while most other guys out there are just showing off and bragging while thinking they are standing out when really they are just making themselves look more desperate. Now, the way that guys with game stand out is simply by doing what most other guys don't do. A great example of this is by not treating girls the way that most guys treat them. You see, not giving all these hot girls out there your attention is a form of novelty. Not telling beautiful girls that they are beautiful all the time is another way to stand out because most other guys are doing this exact thing. Novelty is simply doing what other guys are too afraid to do, or basically behaving in a way that most other men do not behave. Novelty is the second rule of game, and it's really just making yourself stand out by doing the opposite of what most other men do. So while most other men are complimenting beautiful girls all the time and telling them how attractive they are, you're not doing that. Number 3. Now, this is probably the most important aspect of game out of this entire video, and I like to call it the roller coaster. Now, if you've been living under a rock, or if you just haven't seen any of my videos, something that you have to understand is that women tend to live in a primarily emotional world. So what does this mean? So it means that women are fueled primarily by emotions, and the crazy thing about this is that it doesn't even need to be happy emotions. One of the most important things that you can ever understand about females is that they need drama. And this isn't to say that there is something inherently wrong with them. And yes, there's a lot of guys who need drama too. But what this means is that in general, in the same way that men need to conquer, women need drama in their lives. And let me give you an example of this. There was this guy that I used to know back in school. And this guy had all the things that you would think would attract girls. He had wealthy parents, he had money, he had good looks, and he even played on the football team, so he definitely had status. But the one thing that this guy never had was a girlfriend. And the reason that he never had a girlfriend was because he was just too boring. You see, this guy was really good at making girls feel happy, but when it comes to girls and when it comes to game, happy is not enough. One of the most important aspects of game is simply knowing how to take girls on an emotional roller coaster. But how do you actually do this? So what this means is that one minute you're making her feel happy and you're giving her all these good emotions, and then a few minutes later you might be doing something like poking fun at her or doing something that might make her wonder if you even like her at all. So many guys out there often wonder why girls cheat, and girls will never actually say this, but a lot of times girls will end up cheating just for the drama. Because cheating for a girl is basically like taking a ride on the biggest roller coaster available at Six Flags. And so most guys out there, when a girl cheats on them, what do they typically do? Most of the time, they freak out and they ask, why? Why did you do this? Blah, blah, blah. And they unknowingly give the girl exactly what she wanted most, which was the attention or the drama or the roller coaster, so to speak. You see, the reason why girls watch so many of these shows that are just filled with drama like the Kardashians is because they have an insatiable need for drama. And this need for drama is one of the most powerful driving forces, believe it or not, for attraction. See, all the girls out there chase the playboys and the guys who are like that, not because these guys are really good dudes and they really know how to take care of girls, but because these are the guys who know how to take girls on a never-ending ride or never-ending roller coaster. Many guys out there right now have all the things that should make them attractive, that should make them a really good catch, yet they still can't seem to get girls interested in them. So you might ask yourself why, and it's because they don't have enough game to understand this simple concept, which is that men with great game are able to keep girls on this emotional roller coaster. So one minute you're making her feel super happy, and the next you're getting her to seriously question if you even care about her anymore. This aspect of game is useful whether you're single, whether you're already with a girl, whether you're married, it doesn't matter. Something you always have to remember is that pretty much every girl out there would rather be with a terrible guy who is exciting than with a good guy who can't make them feel anything, either good or bad. Even if a girl is angry at you, at the end of the day, this is always going to be 100 times better than her feeling nothing at all. And if you become one of these guys who is able to deliver the full up and down roller coaster experience to a girl on a consistent basis, or if you're one of these guys who is able to spike their emotions up and down pretty much at will, then you will naturally have better game. You'll naturally be able to do what something like 90% of guys either can't or don't even know how to do. So the third and final fundamental aspect of game is being able to take girls on this emotional roller coaster. And these are the 3 rules of game that they don't want you to know about. And with that said, until next time, thank you guys so much for watching.